Hello everyone, welcome back to Dancers Doing Stuff. I know it's been a minute since we've had a live show, but summer is here, vaccines are here, go get yours if you don't have it yet. But I am so excited for today's episode. It's like the perfect episode to come back to because I have Nick as a guest and I'm a super huge fangirl of him. I think he's literally the most talented and so smart and everything. So let me just get right into his bio. So Nick Silverio trained at Elite Academy of Dance in Shrewsbury, Mass, which actually I know someone who teaches there who is going to be a guest in the future, so cool. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School with a Bachelor of Science in Economics and a concentration in commercial dance management. And I think from what I've heard is that, which I have to ask him about, I've heard through the grapevine that he kind of created this whole program for himself in college. So cool if that's true. We'll find out. He recently co-founded Artswork, which we had Rami on the show way before, and it finally is open to the public. So I'm so excited to hear about all the updates and just hear about his side of, doing that whole project and getting it out there. It's literally the best platform. I sing its praises to everyone. And so also some of his credits, let's get into dance stuff. He has done so much. I mean, he is such a technical, beautiful dancer and so creative, such a great choreographer. You might have seen him on Girls 5 Eva, Saturday Night Live, America's Got Talent, So You Think You Can Dance. He has done Billy Elliot playing older Billy, and he's dance captain. La Cage of Follies, I probably butchered that, but I'm excited to hear about that show. Elf the Musical, and you might have seen his viral video with his own choreography, First Burn. I almost said Firstborn. That would not be right. First Burn, which actually is one of the first things that I saw of him, and I just completely fell in love. It's so gorgeous. Definitely check it out after this interview. And he has also choreographed music videos, so he does it all. And when he's not on stage or cooking up some choreography in the studio, he does guest choreography at workshops, choreographs competitions, judges competitions all over. He actually judged my roommate's students at a competition. What a small world, crazy. And he also teaches at Solid Core, which I need to go to. And also past guest Robin Williams is also at Solid Core, so you guys definitely check it out. And that is in New York City and on the Equinox Plus app, so you can get that even if you are not in New York City with us. But before I bring him in, let's show off his amazing, stunning technique. Literally, it's honestly, it makes me unwell how beautiful his dancing is. Okay, I'm just gonna show you because I could talk about it forever. What? That technique, it was watching water, but also sharp and just my favorite style of moving. I'm obsessed. Okay, so before I just blab on for this whole time, let's bring him on in with a nice round of applause.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, thank you. That was so kind. I didn't expect that at all. Thank you so much.
No, I could sing your praises for 100 years. So we are going to be making face masks. Before we get into anything,
Yes.
you are a big fan of skincare. I hear
Yes.
from you. And if we happen to like do something disastrous, thankfully you are going to actually get a facial soon. So like if we mess anything up, like it will be rectified. I've actually never gotten a facial before, and it's on my list of things to do before my next birthday.
Highly recommend. It's like you get a massage, you go to physical therapy, you get a facial. You know what I mean? Your skin's your biggest organ, so you got to take care of it.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so we're going to be using avocados,
Hmm.
yogurt, lemon,
Hmm.
and honey. It says like you're supposed to use, oh, and also lavender essential oil if you have that. And if you want to get crazy,
Hmm.
you can like add some rolled oats. I don't have any, so I'm skipping that step.
Neither do I.
Perfect. So we'll just pretend it doesn't exist. Um, I I don't know. I apparently yogurt is like great for your skin. For me, it feels like we're putting
Yeah.
lunch on our face, but that's supposedly good. So we need one avocado. I'm gonna attempt to like
Hmm.
not cut my whole body off,
Yes,
or
I
like
am
mostly my.
very type A. I have prepped an avocado. Feel
Oh
like a
my gosh,
YouTuber. I've prepped
I'm
an avocado in a little
so
bowl
I'm so
because I'm so type
impressed.
A.
I this okay. I'm gonna just like squeeze it out,
That looks
so
like
we'll
a
see.
delicious avocado. Look
Amazing,
at that.
right? This is like a
That's like a
great.
perfect avocado.
Of course, it's the one I'm not gonna eat.
No.
That's literally I never luck out with avocados. It's always like a big fail. I'm just gonna okay. So we get our avocado in our bowl. You're like already ahead.
Mm-hmm.
A plus
No, take your
student.
time.
This is not cute.
I
Okay, here we
only
go.
I don't know how much we need, but I got like what I think was enough. Like it was
Yeah,
half ripe, so I got like
that's
the ripe half.
that's perfect because I put
You
a
know,
whole one in here and it's definitely way more. Maybe I'll
that's
do
a
like a whole
ton.
body mask after this. Like maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the plan. It's not a face mask, it's a whole body mask. Okay,
Hmm.
so then we need plain yogurt. It says
Hmm.
just 1 teaspoon.
Oh,
So
great.
that's good, not too much. Apparently it's like
Yeah. Okay.
very great for your skin.
Because it's
Or
like
maybe it's 1 tablespoon.
probiotics.
I think so. Oh, mine has like a weird film. Oh, this is not the yogurt. Okay. This is mix it up. Yep.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon because 1 teaspoon seems too small. It's really just
Yeah.
like, you know, do what your heart feels kind of
Do what your
situation.
heart feels. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon.
Perfect.
Got it.
Okay. Then we need, if you have your lemon,
Yes. This is
we
now I'm gonna
just,
cut a lemon.
oh,
Good luck.
danger. Yeah, I'm cutting this lemon too. I'm,
I assume
I'm
it's just
gonna
for the
say,
juice.
yeah, yeah. No, you want the
Okay.
zest. Have
Right.
you watched Cooking with Paris on
I've
Netflix yet?
only seen like a part of it. It's so
Uh,
funny.
it's
I
so
think she's
funny.
hysterical. I literally think she's so funny and so badass. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, what a fabulous businesswoman, like, and just a personality.
Yeah, I'm obsessed and there's this one part where she says like she has to ask like what is zest lemon? And so now
Yep.
anytime I think of a lemon, I just think of Paris Hilton and I'm not mad about that.
No, she's iconic. We underappreciated her for so many years, and I feel like she's finally getting
Seriously.
the appreciation she deserved.
Okay, next up,
Okay.
I just squeezed half a lemon.
Okay, cool. I'm doing like a third of a lemon.
That's even better. It's kind of
Should be
just
fine.
like, whatever. I think yeah. I I should have researched and found out what the lemon
Spoon.
does. I also should have gotten napkins. So now we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of honey. They recommend
Okay.
raw manuka honey, but I'm just using regular honey, so I think
Yeah,
we'll be
regular,
okay.
regular clover honey.
Oh, clover, that's kind of like fancy, I feel.
You said 1 teaspoon.
Yeah, I did 1 teaspoon.
Honey's like purifying. I found a
Yes.
I'm obsessed with Ulta. I'm an
Hmm.
Ulta like diamond member. I'm like a literally I
Oh.
buy everything from Ulta. It's a problem. I need to be stopped. But um, they have like Ulta has their own brand, and they have these face masks, and one of them is a honey purifying mask, and it is one of my favorite masks I've ever used. It like it actually works, and it's really good, and it's
Ooh.
$3.
Ooh.
You know,
Sponsor us,
like
Ulta.
cheap.
I love it. Okay, and then next,
Yeah.
last step, like 6 drops of lavender essential oil.
Okay. Got it. One, two. Is this gonna? I'm like confused how it's gonna smell with the avocado.
I know. And
You know what I
also,
mean? Is it gonna cancel it
like,
out?
I I'm very intrigued. And then
I
it
mean,
says like
that's
if you want
strong.
to be really crazy, you could like actually put this in a blender and like make it so smooth and like pretend you're at Lush. But I'm just gonna mush it.
There's, yeah, I'm also
So
mushing and
yeah, I think
mixing.
mush is like a really great technique to like super underrated.
It
Mushing doesn't
smells
get
kind
the
of good.
yeah, like honestly, without the lavender, I'd probably eat this. Well,
No, I don't. I think I need maybe
without the
more lemon and
honey.
more lavender.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd
not
say
bad.
yeah,
It's
I'm
also
really not mad at this. It's very
it's
lumpy
not
though.
good, but it's not bad. I like don't
Exactly.
want to smell the avocado. How can I stop smelling the avocado?
I think
I'm
like
gonna do
maybe just like put a drop of lavender in your hand and go
yeah,
like kind of
yeah,
huff it
yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
But the avocado is for like you need like the fat of the avocado, which is why it's like a
Exactly.
good fat, right? Am I right?
Yes, you're 100% right. You get A
Oh my
plus
God.
plus on this quiz. There will be a
Thank
graded
you.
test after.
Oh
Okay, so
no. I
this is
was good
act
at everything in school except for science.
well, now's your redeeming time.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, I mean this I think is like pretty good. I'm gonna wait to put it on my face until like after
Same.
we speak. But I'll post a picture of
Great.
it. But this I think is like I think this was a
I think it's
successful
thick enough.
craft. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's thick enough.
There's been
Maybe I
a
need to
oh
add more
yeah.
yogurt.
Yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with these ingredients, like making it your own kind of vibe. I read like about 5 different versions of this online and kind of took it
Uh,
from all the different ones, and people just put all sorts of stuff
okay.
in their face. So I think we're good. But yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I've heard a million things. Okay, this looks great.
Yeah, I love this. I think it would be probably better if we put it in a blender so it would be like super smooth.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna
Yeah.
have like chunks on our face, but
Oh
I
no.
think that sounds probably pretty bad out of context. But I think this was a success.
I
I'm
agree.
excited for this. Oh my gosh, yay! A lot of the crafts are usually a fail, so feel very honored.
It kind of smells good.
Yeah,
I
I
would eat
think,
it.
yeah, and apparently you can put it in the fridge and it would last for like a few days, so you could do it a few times if you're really feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm nervous, but I feel good about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, me too. Okay, let's talk dance. Give me your
Okay.
whole life story. So you're from Massachusetts, which is crazy because
Yeah, we
I'm
both
from
are.
Massachusetts. I wasn't in like the competition scene, so we didn't really cross over, but
Hmm.
from what I hear, you were in the competition scene. So how was that growing up? Were you like super like competitive, that whole like it's an intense lifestyle, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I started competing pretty young. I was like 7. And because it was just like the natural, like take your dance to the next level. Also, just a performance opportunity. I as a child was like everybody who can watch me perform. So I couldn't wait for like an annual recital. Like I needed more opportunities to be on a stage. So I competed since I was like 7, and I really liked competition. I was pretty into it. I'm a competitive person, like in by nature. I always really have been. So I very much enjoyed getting feedback, growing, using it as a tool to like better myself as a performer. And then once you get into like your high school years, competition really starts to become like, oh, this is crossover to what could be my future as a performer and as a dancer. So I didn't really view it that way at the time, but it was like, I would not be the dancer I am today without comp, because it like just forces you to be good at different styles, forces you to train in things that you're uncomfortable with. Like me in a tap dance or a hip hop piece at comp, just like out of my comfort zone. But I really liked being a competitive dancer. It teaches you discipline. Like there's no tomorrow, and teaches you a lot of skills that like are very transferable to real life.
Yeah, 100%. That was leading into my next question. I was gonna ask, did you specialize in one style when you were growing up, like maybe in competition or in and in life, or did you do
Mm.
all the styles, every like any dance class? I'm there all day, every day. Please, I don't want to stop dancing.
So like middle of the road of that, like I
Mm-hmm.
definitely specialized in like contemporary as competition dancers do, and I'm more than happy to talk about why like I think that's so confusing because then you get into the real world
Yes.
and nobody ever asks you to do contemporary. Like
Yes.
like pure like period ever, but we've like created an entire billion-dollar industry around it. But I also like I had an amazing dance teacher and amazing teachers at my studio who were like, you can't like, you have to take jazz. I was in ballet 3 days a week. I was in acrobatics, which like my acro training was much more influential to my career than I ever could have imagined, because now all people ask me to do is tumble,
Yeah.
which is fine, but like thank goodness I took acro, in high school. And I took tap, I took tons of modern. So like it was, I guess I'm just thankful for my teachers who are like, you have to be a well-rounded dancer in order to not only just like pursue a career, but also even if you don't pursue a career, other styles will influence each other. So yeah, I would think it was middle of the road. I definitely had some specialties, but I tried to be well-rounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it sounds like your school really set you up for success in that way. And especially coming from Massachusetts, and like the Boston dance scene is very different,
So
and
cool.
basically like it's very small. It's very different than
Hmm.
what's available in New York and LA and all of those things. Like the job opportunities are not really there, so sometimes the teachers
Right.
are not really in that mindset. I've found with my own personal training, it was more like, for me, it was like, be in a ballet company or like maybe a
Hmm.
modern company, but like, what is
Right.
this commercial dance? And like, it's interesting that you said that about the commercial dance, I mean the contemporary dance, because it's kind of like when you get into this industry, it's like, here's the commercial track, which you like mentally associate with like hip hop and street jazz and that, and then it's like, here's the theater track, which is like, you know, for girls, the Laducas and the heels, and that has a little bit of crossover. And then there's like the whole, you know, concert dance track. But it's like where
Hmm.
contemporary fits into all of those things, but it's not like, I don't know. It's very interesting, but it is uh, such a powerhouse style. But
Yeah.
it's interesting about that, and like the where does it fit in, but then how much time like we spend working on that growing up, and then having to be like,
Right.
okay, but like where do I go? What do I do with
Never.
this?
Yeah, I was just talking to Stacy Tukey about this literally last week, and how she was like, well, it's just so you think. Like, so you think you can dance is
Yes.
the reason that contemporary is like transformed our entire competitive, landscape, which is not a bad thing. Like we brought dance into the homes of millions of people, but it didn't translate to jobs. And I think now more than ever, maybe it is starting to translate. I think that like theater and Broadway continues to expand a little, like little by little, in
Yes.
styles that we see on stage. You see choreography like Jagged Little Pill that is like, across the board in styles that requires people who are really well rounded, and requires like true contemporary dancers. If anything, contemporary does, give you the ability to be a good storyteller, to integrate technique in stylized ways. So I think there's benefits to it, but it's just not like we don't, go to musical theater class 4 days a week, and the musical theater category in competition is this big,
Right.
and then you go to pursue a career and it's 50% theater. So there's a huge, huge dichotomy there, that's like both are happening at the same time for no reason. So but I don't know, I mean, do what you got to do, do what styles make you happy, but know that if you want to pursue a dance career, it's like I get asked to tumble, I get asked to do jazz, I get asked to do hip hop.
Yeah.
That's it.
Literally. And that's
Yeah.
interesting you brought up, so you think. So I know that you auditioned for So You Think. You did 2 years, right? And you went through that whole process.
Yes.
How was that?
It's so cool. It's a great learning experience. It was my first like really on camera experience, my first and last reality experience. You learn a lot about what it takes to make a television show and what your personal brand needs to be in order to make that happen. I learned the most. I had a producer tell me the camera is your boyfriend. The camera is your boyfriend, and I've always just taken that with me. The camera is your boyfriend.
Yes.
Um, and I mean, the best part of it was like I made a ton of friends who I'm still friends with. Gosh, 6 years later. So like that's the best part. It
Yeah.
absolutely is just like you meet truly incredible dancers from all over the country who you probably never would have gotten to meet. So you think did some beautiful things and obviously created beautiful art. So I really enjoyed it. I had a pretty good experience both times. There's always ups and downs with it,
Yeah.
but it's a cool opportunity.
Yeah. What has been your favorite? I know this is like such a hard, it's like picking children, but like what has been your favorite, because we both have children and we know
I
that.
hate children. I really do.
Then how do you judge them in a competition?
Oh, I like children from afar.
Yeah, okay, okay. um, I was gonna say, what has been your favorite dance opportunity that you have done? And it doesn't have to be paid because, of course, sometimes there are opportunities that we do that are not paid that should be paid. So that's why I
Hmm.
don't say paid job because you can have a very professional
Opportunity.
experience without getting paid. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'll
Which is a
I'll leave it to
problem.
you. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, gosh, I've been so fortunate to have to be a part of some really beautiful projects. Uh, like three come to the top of my mind, and like all three are, as dancers, we don't often get to do participate in art that like changes the world, or like we would choose to participate in. We just like got a paycheck, and it just we did that job. How many silly jobs have I done? Which is fine. You know what I mean? It's not silly for someone else, but it's silly for me. And I've had a few opportunities to do shows or like TV projects that mean a lot to me. I think if I had to pick one, I'll reference when you said it in my intro, the show La Cage aux Folles, which
Oh,
is
that's how you're supposed to
French. It's
say
French, and
it.
it's like the Cage of Birds,
Yeah.
and it's based on the movie The Birdcage with Robin Williams. And La Cage is about a little nightclub in the south of France that is a drag nightclub, and it is a show not about drag, not about the absurdities and the glamour. It's really about family and how family just looks different for everybody. So when I was 19, I got my first professional regional theater job. It was La Cage aux Folles at the Good Sweet Opera House, which is one of my favorite theaters in the country, and I got my equity card, so like that meant a lot to me. But our opening night was the same night that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of gay marriage, and it was like
Oh, I have
this. We
chills.
were just like sitting in the dressing room, like getting into drag, like getting paid to get into drag to do a show about just happened to be a gay family, and then they ruled it for it, and it was like we got a standing ovation for 15 minutes. It was like we were just standing there crying. So it's like shows like that like change people's perceptions of not only art but of each other. That like it honestly doesn't happen very often. And like, how many times are we all going to do Mamma Mia? But to do something like La Cage aux Folles, like I've done it 3 times now because I've never not loved it. It's always just like,
Yeah.
oh, I get to do this show. I get to tell this story about family.
Yeah. Oh, I need to see it. It sounds that's I have chills just hearing that story. That sounds so amazing. Oh, okay, so I know that you went to school with Rami and you went but they didn't
Yes.
have from what she told me in the in her interview, which everyone go check that out. They don't have a dance program there. Is that true?
No,
So, could you tell
that
me a
is
little bit
true.
about what you did there? I know they have a really strong, like, company program kind of
Mhm.
situation, right? Like, I'd love to hear more about that from your perspective of dancing in college and how that worked for you, and also, I know this is like a hot button topic, but like, do
Mm.
you think going to college and not jumping right into the industry and making sure that you got a degree that also was not just a BFA in dance but a BA
Mhm.
from a really well known school? I'd love to hear your opinions on that hot topic.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this a lot because I feel like I had a unique college experience. I couldn't afford really a BFA program. I auditioned for tons of dance programs, and I also applied to business schools because I thought it was the most like generally applicable. So I ended up going to Penn for a bunch of reasons. Number one was financial aid, like period. They just like had a great financial aid program, and I was really broke. Number two was the fact that it was a really good business school, like, and it's a great school in general, so I felt so lucky to be admitted. And I am still, I'm a huge nerd. Like, I love school. I'm such a dork, in a
No, me
great way,
too.
like
I
not in a
love
bad way. I love
it.
being a nerd. It's great. But number three was that I was like, I need to continue dancing. Like, I've done this for 18 years. I'm not going to just stop, like, which people totally do, and it serves your purpose throughout your, middle school and high school, and then it doesn't serve your purpose anymore, so you can stop. For me, it needed to continue to go on. So Penn has a pretty robust extracurricular art scene. So there's, a few dozen dance companies across all different genres. There's theater, there's a million different things, tons of acapella. So I found a dance company. It's called Arts House, and that's how I met Ramita. And Arts House, like, kind of shocked me because I was like, oh, a college dance company, like, great. And then they were amazing, like insanely talented, like people who've trained their entire lives and just didn't want to dance in college in a program.
Mm,
So I just got super fortunate to like find a place where I really fit in, and where dance could still fulfill its purpose in my life, but not like go to school for it and get graded for it. So I got better in like I became more
right.
of who I am as a performer and also as a choreographer because of Arts House.
Mm,
Um, and then I guess more high level, like what's the best choice? Like you're
yeah.
18, you're expected to make a decision that allegedly dictates your entire life. And I've said this before, and I'll say it like a million more times to anyone who will listen to me, especially the people who are like 16, 17. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. It's if you want to be a dancer, you can go to college for dance. Amazing, chef's kiss. You can go to college for something else. Amazing. You cannot go to college. Amazing. We all end up in the same audition room. We all end up in the same callback. Everybody, like, we all book the show. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make a difference. If you really want it and you train for it and you set yourself up for success, you're going to get there regardless. So it just truly, like, it's whatever makes the most sense, whatever's logical, whatever's fiscally responsible, financially responsible. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like
I
I
always,
felt,
yeah, I'm on the same page. It's, yeah,
yeah,
it's interesting. My side comment about my life. My mom actually went to Boston Conservatory, but she didn't start till she
great.
was 30. So she's
Wow.
dancing, yeah, which is also like another thing. Of, I know a lot of the times people are really, I'm losing out on my good dancing years, and that's changing so much nowadays too, which is so
Mm-hmm.
great. But something she always said was, I was dancing with people who were just as good dancers with me, but they had
Mm-hmm.
degrees in biology. My degree was in dance. That's all I know. So yeah, she didn't let me even apply to any BFA program. So it's interesting, and like, it truly is like, what is your path, what is meant for you will happen for you. And like, don't stress.
Yeah.
If you're out there stressing, it's going to work out. Whatever's meant to happen will happen for you in this industry, and as long as you work hard. But
Yeah, and like the choice you make when you're 18 just doesn't dictate the rest of your life. Like,
yes.
you change programs, you change schools, you drop out of school, you go to school, like, it's the decision you're making right now in the moment, and it's not a forever decision in the slightest. It
Yeah.
seems so like weighted, you're like, this is my entire life. It's not, you have total control and autonomy over the next few years of your life.
Yeah. Have you always been interested in choreography, or did that kind of blossom when you were
Mhm.
in college?
Oh, totally blossomed in college. I didn't really choreograph at all before Arts House, and because it's a student-run company, every semester I had the opportunity to choreograph a piece on the rest of the company, and like that was just awesome. Like I got to choreograph a heels. That was my first piece, was a heels piece. I've done, and obviously did contemporary, I did musical theater. I did like an acro piece one year essentially. um, just like so many cool opportunities to figure out who I like to be as a choreographer, how I like to tell stories, what stories I like to tell, um, and and frankly, that to like kind of amp up like a student dance company. That doesn't usually get to happen in like a collegiate dance program. Like you do have
Yeah.
student choreography opportunities, and they're here and there. But I got to choreograph 9 pieces in college, like
Wow.
every semester. So that's like a very unique opportunity that I I want to do again. Like I always tell Rami, like, can we do Arts House but in the real world? Can we just like
Yes.
get 20 people and like make dances and perform them?
Yeah, I mean, well, you've done a little bit of that with not
Yeah.
20 people, but I am obsessed with your choreography. The one, it was to, it's the Hamilton song, right? That's the firstborn one. That's
Yes.
the one where they have like
First burn.
the, the orangey tan, oh, with like
Yeah.
Dee and, just absolutely. I mean, you had such a gorgeous cast. And then also, I loved your
So good.
Diamonds. Was it Diamonds Our Girl's Best Friend? Was that the
Yeah,
one that you
Sparkling
did?
Diamond.
Yes. Oh, I just love it,
Thanks.
and I just love your creative vision that you put out there. It's so like clean and crisp and like
Totally.
funky, and I don't know. Everyone should definitely check out those videos. I'll add the links to them, but it's so refreshing, and it was so like clearly your style, and your like you had such a voice that was so strong. And so I love watching your choreography. I'm such a big fangirl. And
Thanks.
also, side note, I know this is not really dance related, but everyone needs to check out your TikTok because you're literally
Oh my
hilarious.
God.
Like
I knew you were
you're
going to
like
say
this
that.
but like it's not unexpected, but like you're so professional
Ah,
and so talented and so technical, and then you're actually like hilarious. You're a full comedian.
thanks.
Like I
Thank
literally
you.
cannot like was it during the quarantine when you made the video with like doing the ballet and what ballet dancers are thinking of like the crowd
Oh
pop,
yeah, that was one of my
that
very
one,
first videos.
oh my god, that was hilarious. And then your like judging competition voice is just like perfection. Like we don't
Oh my God.
we don't have to go over
I have a
all of
lot
the
of
TikToks, but they're hilarious.
I think that's very sweet. I have a lot of sometimes people comment on my TikToks. They're like, "You just judged me last weekend," and it's like I really do judge like that. Like I'm like, welcome to Satan, her 572 Mulan. Like I actually, and by the end of the like weekend, you've judged 700 numbers, and you're
Oh
literally
my
just like
god.
hanging on for dear life, and you're like, don't rain on my parade. This is judge number 3, Nick Silverio, best of luck, and you're just like descending into hell. But
I'm
it's
dead.
like I love it. Like I love getting to watch dance. I love getting to talk about dance. I'm obsessed with giving feedback to dancers. I
Yeah,
don't take that job for granted. It is exhausting. Like
I can't
anyone who judges
imagine.
dance, like, and I never knew that as a dancer growing up. Like competing, I just like assumed it was like fabulous to be a judge. And it
Yeah,
kind of is, but it's
yeah.
also just awful. You're just like, I have to pee so bad. I have to pee so bad. I have to pee so bad. Like
And you
for
probably see
24 hours.
so many of the same songs and repeats of just like even
Oh,
stuff that like
I make
we danced
tallies.
to when we were younger are like back because we're the
Yep.
teachers now, bringing back the songs that we danced to in the
Mm-hmm.
early 2000s. It's like it's so funny to hear all these stories. My the studio I work at doesn't do so many competitions. It's like a hip hop studio, but my roommate like
Cool.
so many competitions. I love hearing his stories, and he said that you were very nice. Your tapes were
Oh,
really
good.
great, and like
Okay,
he was like
good.
he's all about technique, and my kids needed that,
Mhm.
so he really appreciates that. He
Great.
wanted me to tell you that.
Great. Okay. Oh, I'm
Okay,
so glad.
yeah, no, okay, so it's time for our first game. Let me get our
Okay.
little let me get my
I'm
little.
gonna let my poodle out of the room.
I love that. I love that for you.
Oh my gosh, she's so
Okay, it's
needy.
time for Would You Rather.
Okay.
It's not too scandalous because it's a pre made thing. But if you're watching live,
Great.
feel free to comment and let us know what you would rather. They're pretty silly. Okay, I'm gonna pick them randomly, one blue and one pink. Okay, would you rather have roller skates for feet or seep chili sauce from your pores when you sweat?
You know that I'm gonna say roller skates for feet. Like that
It
A
would be
sounds kind of fabulous, and
very,
B, no pores, no
yeah,
pores.
exactly. Like, what are pores even? Like, who
Mm-hmm.
has
Never heard of
those?
them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next one. Would you rather fight off 20 duck sized unicorns every time you go to the restroom or have to walk backwards everywhere?
Duck-sized unicorns.
Yeah, so they're like about this big. Like, I'd say like about like a foot
um,
wide.
um, that sounds adorable. The unicorns.
But you have to fight them. You're
Yeah,
okay
that's
with
fine. They're
that?
tiny.
Yeah. You really gotta like
Yeah,
bop them though. I mean, you do have such a
yeah.
solid core, so you'd probably be good at
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Would you oh wow. Okay. Would you rather have an apple tree growing in your stomach or have everything you touch catch on fire?
Oh my gosh.
That's like really really rough.
Oh, I like don't the apple tree like makes me like gives me like heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the catch on fire and I'll just like walk around with a fire extinguisher or wear
Yeah.
gloves. Like I
I mean
need
like
to
you'll
problem
just be
solve
like
that.
so lit. Like
Lit. First burn, you
literally
know?
lit, right? Oh my god, it's like perfect with your branding. Yeah. No. It could be
Branding.
your thing. Amazing.
Apple
Okay.
tree.
Yeah, apple tree. That is just
Gives me like the
not.
heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I used to really think that like if you ate a watermelon seed when I was little,
100%.
that like you would fully grow a full watermelon and you would die. So someone definitely told me that, and I was very gullible. I still am.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, not a fan. Okay, let's talk passions outside of dance. I know
Okay.
skincare, but I want to hear like, tell me all the secrets. What do you love?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a good transition into like my business that I started
Exactly.
with Rami.
Yes.
But I went to business school, so I have like a well-rounded background in management and marketing, and I can get away with finance. I'm a very quantitatively minded person,
Mm-hmm.
so I really love you know, creating this product that I've made with Ramita, that is basically just our attempt to solve people's problems as dancers and make people's lives a little bit easier. We have always been shocked at at how insane being a performer is, and how it's like archaic so many of the things that we have to do are. The starving artist stigma is very real and very unfortunate, and the things that are expected of artists just to pursue like a baseline career is absurd, period. And we've normalized so many of those things. So arts work was started as like a true like little project, like a let's just
Mm-hmm.
see what we can do here, and it's turned into an actual business, which is so exciting. And
So
it's a
amazing.
professional network for artists, and sort of like that's a pretty big umbrella, and you can do a lot of things on
Right.
arts work. So what we've sort of been realizing is people are using arts work in to do things that they normally do on Instagram that like shouldn't be on Instagram, or on Facebook that we shouldn't be using Facebook for. Like we have real
Yes.
jobs. Being a performer is a real legitimate profession. And so we need a
That part.
legitimate platform to do our just like daily live things. So everybody uses it differently, and everybody has different pain points as artists, but you use it how you see fit and how it benefits you. And it's free. It's like literally free to use, because why would we charge artists to do something else? So outside
Yeah.
of dance and skincare, I work on arts work full time, and I
Amazing.
love it. I love working with Ramita. It's truly such a dream founder. I've learned so much, like being a founder, you are, and you know this, you are not only, the person who's in charge of it all, but you're a marketing director and an HR associate and a legal associate and a finance. Like
Yeah.
you're just wearing 40,000 hats and learning about all those things. So it's been really cool. I feel like I've expanded a lot as a person in the last
Mm.
year because of arts work, which I'm really thankful for. Um, so yeah, arts work's been my main like
Yeah.
outside of dance thing, and I also teach solid core, which has been like for me a really successful side job that just like allowed me to pay my bills and make money and not be a starving artist while still pursuing a career and having flexibility to do so. So I'm really thankful for that. Yeah, that's like sort of my life in a
Yeah,
nutshell.
I love that. I was interested to know. Well, I have a million questions about arts work because I just think it's so genius. But I was
Oh,
wondering if you
thank
could
you.
share like some of the skills or some of the jobs that you have now kind of taken on, or like, like some of the special skills that now you have gained from starting
Mm.
a I don't even know how to explain. It's a business, it's a platform, it's a web site, like it's so many things in one. And I would love to know like some of the things that maybe you didn't even expect to have to learn and to teach yourself by going through starting this amazing company.
Yeah, I mean, arts work, like that's the thing, we've been really transparently like trying to figure out, what is the primary purpose of this, like what is the number one problem that we're trying to solve, because it does feel like we've tried to create something that solves everyone's problems, and that's sort of impossible, although it does do a
Right.
lot of those things. And I think the thing that we've learned, and I've learned, is um, as a business person, like actually identifying what people need and how you can deliver on that. You can't just make something and expect people to want it. You have to go the other way around. And so we've really honed in on the fact that like performers and artists lack security in a lot of the aspects of their life. So whether it's financial security, job security, support system, and emotional security, um, like referral security, like how, it's all about who like there's this like constant feeling of some aspect of my life I feel a little bit insecure about as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot of that arts work actually provides a lot of security in whatever aspect you feel like you're missing out on. So if I feel like I need to expand my network and I'm having network insecurity, I can do that. If I need to ask questions in a safe space in a real community, I can do that. If I need a place to showcase my work because I literally don't have any money to like make a website that costs $200 a year, I can do that. So it's about, I've learned a lot to like truly hone in on identifying what people need, like actually need. That I think, in business school, you don't really get to, you don't really like, you do all the things in practice and
Uh-huh.
like through a textbook, but once you're actually doing it in real life, it all shifts. So I've learned how to like actually implement a business model in real life, which is terrifying. It's so scary.
So cool. And I love something that you said on the live on Artswork the other day. And you said, like, you weren't going into it thinking about this as a community, but it has, like,
Totally.
that's kind of the thing that everyone keeps saying. And it does really feel like a community. It's like, it feels exactly like a safe space where you can ask questions, but
Mhm.
also it's a professional resource. It's like it's so many things. And I think community is such a great word to describe it, which I know that
Mhm.
wasn't even really like going into it what you guys thought, like you. And I think that's probably why it's so genuinely, like, it's real. It is a
Mhm.
true community because it was so needed, and you provided that space for people to come together, and it just like grew like this, and it's going to continue to grow. I mean, how it's only been live to the public. When did you guys officially open it up?
July 28th. So
Okay,
two
so it
weeks
hasn't
ago.
even been. Oh my goodness. And do you know
Yeah.
how many people are live, like with profiles right now, like
We've got
approximately?
almost 1,000.
That is
So it's
amazing.
been really cool. People are inviting, their networks to the platform, and that's like the most beneficial thing is like you benefit when your people are on it. Because then, when somebody posts a job or posts a resource or an opportunity or a show, like you get access to it. It's all about access. It's all about that security, that sort of security blanket of like, oh well, I can actually look like to this dedicated place to find things that I need. So I hope that it continues to grow. We're working really hard on it to make sure it's the most valuable place for artists. So invite people and share it. You can share a
Yes.
profile. You can share your customer referral link and win merchandise and prizes. So just some incentives to get people onto the site. But it really does only benefit us, obviously, but like you as an artist to have as many people on there as possible who are within your network, and then use it to expand your network.
Yeah, amazing. It's just, I'm obsessed with it. I'm overwhelmed by the possibilities of like how many things you can do, and like people have some amazing profiles on there. So like I totally
Totally.
stalk people, and it's like you need a day to really like do it, get all your stuff there, but I
Yeah.
feel so
Yeah.
proud with everything that you can share, and it's just amazing. So everyone go check it out. My referral link is in the bio of this video, and also will be
Yeah.
in the podcast. So sign up with my link or anyone else you know's link. That's fine too.
Totally.
Okay, so for our last game, it's a little bit less of a game, more of like a mystery, but I'm gonna pick.
Great.
It's questions. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick one card from each color. They're loosely coordinated. A lot of them are from a website called Questions to Ask Your Dad. Um, very strange. We can always veto them. Feel free. Some of them are personal, some of them are funny, so we'll see what we get.
Great.
And you can pick a color, not a question. You don't know what the question is.
Hmm. Blue.
All right. Have you ever blown your nose into something other than a tissue? Getting personal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Definitely yes. The best example was during my competition days. I competed and I was so sick. I had this like absurd cold, and I did a turning section, and like because of the inertia, like
Oh,
everything comes
yeah.
forwards, and I like go off stage. I had to do a tumbling pass like right then and there, and my sister was in the wing. I grew up dancing with my sisters, and I like blew my nose with my hands, and I wiped it on the stage, and I did a tumbling pass because otherwise it would have
Amazing.
like come out during a back tuck.
Oh,
So
yeah, no.
I made a in the moment decision, and I
Executive,
blew my
yeah.
nose just like this
Yeah. I
in my
mean, you gotta
hands.
do what you gotta do.
Awful.
You probably
You
got high
do.
platinum, super gold star plus, so
Triple titanium diamond extra crystal.
amazing. Okay,
Thank you.
next color.
Pink.
What time do you usually go to sleep? Oh, these are such funny questions.
Um, I love to be asleep before midnight. Like that's like insane for me. If I can go to sleep before midnight, it's like wow, I'm gonna get such a good night's sleep. I probably usually go to bed around 12:31. I have a lot
That's
to
all
do.
right. That's it. Yeah.
I can't stay up past 2. My body just like
Yeah.
fully shuts down now.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Um, Purple.
Ooh, this one's a deep, hard one. Who are your top three real life heroes?
Oh my God.
Just a casual
I don't
question.
know.
We went
Oh
from nose
gosh.
blowing to heroes.
My top 3 real life heroes. Okay. Number 1 is my grandfather Rocky. I'm actually wearing his shirt right now, so I'm glad you asked. This is his like actual T-shirt from the '80s. His real
Amazing.
name is David, but he wanted us to call him Rocky, like Rocky Balboa, because he's like really strong and cool.
I
He's not a
love that.
grandpa, he's a Rocky.
Yeah.
And Rocky passed a few years ago, but he's just like he was a engineer, a third degree black belt, a professional baseball player, like just like loved what he did. And his entire motto in life was like literally just do what makes you happy. And that's become my motto in life. So when things don't bring me joy, I'm like, great, it's time to not do those things anymore because they don't make me happy and life is just way too short. So Rocky's number 1, real life hero number 2. Um, This is the hardest question I've ever been
I
asked in
know.
my
This is
entire life.
really it went really from
Because
like
it's
0 to a
like, because
100.
it's like, I could pick a million, you know what I mean? There's like a
Yeah.
million angels. Uh, I would say number two, let's go personal again. I would say my dance teacher, Lauren, and I've talked about that a lot before. But like, I think anybody who's a dance teacher or owns a studio, like dance studios are such a vital part of like arts and education and people's childhoods. And like millions of little kids go to dance class every day, and like that is such a positive force on their life. And so Lauren, I mean, was such a positive force on my life and so many other people. And so like she's just taught thousands of kids to not only become dancers but also like be good people and be professional and treat people well, and have discipline and all the good things that are really transferable skills that come with being a dancer. So any dance teacher or studio owner is a hero to me because they're
Yeah.
like doing the work that needs to be done to raise the next generation of people and dancers. um, Third hero, uh, um, there's just
It's
there are so
hard.
many. I would say, okay, something relevant, somebody I don't know personally.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I am a I think there's a drag queen. Her name is Priyanka. She is a hero of mine, and I'll tell you why. I have my two of my best friends in the whole wide world. One is Ramita, who we know we love we
Yeah.
dearly. My other best friend, her name is Lemon. She's also a drag queen, and she recently did a TV
Amazing.
show with Priyanka. They did Canada's Drag Race together, and Priyanka won, which is so cool.
So
Priyanka is
cool.
also the first Indian drag queen to ever be on the show, and definitely the first Indian drag queen to ever win. So, in the same vein that like Ramita is one of my heroes, she was the first Indian dancer ever featured on So You Think You Can Dance, and like
Amazing.
the representation that brought, and like the kids all around the world who were like, that person looks like me and is like on TV and is really freaking talented. I felt the same way about Priyanka, especially as a queer person, like seeing, a queer person of color, a queer Southeast Asian person on TV, like winning Drag Race, the biggest, drag competition show in the world. Like, I just, what a literal real life superhero to like have the bravery and talent and hard work to just against most odds just like completely succeed in the world arena.
Yeah. Amazing. Those are
Cool,
some
so
good
cool,
heroes. Those are some good
right?
heroes. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, the last question of these is easy. How old is the most expired item in your fridge?
Oh, I don't have a full refrigerator ever. I would say the most expired item is probably some tortillas because you never know when you're going to need a quesadilla. They're
Yeah.
probably 2 months old. There's no way that these tortillas have been in my fridge for less than 2 months. They absolutely could crack in half. I don't know why they're still there. I got to throw them out. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, well,
Yeah.
the last
Wow.
question is what brings out your most creative self? Which I know is a little dense. It's like along the lines
Yeah.
of the heroes.
I thought about this a little bit because thankfully you told
Yep.
me this question before. And what brings out my most creative self really is stories, and that like and that's new. Like I think if you'd asked me this a few years ago, I probably would have said just like music or like a song or even a visual, like
Hmm.
I'm home in Rhode Island right now seeing the water, like that brings out my most creative self for sure. But I think now that I've matured a little bit in my performance, my choreography, hearing stories and experiencing like an actual perspective and a tale, like that immediately makes me want to create, like without
Mm.
a second's notice. Seeing how I can best portray that story through choreography or through a TikTok or like even as silly as a TikTok, like that's a story. It's a 60-second
Yes.
story. It is a character. It's a perspective. I'm taking you on a full arc, ideally.
Yes,
So
100%.
I think what do we want to say? Like, what is the impact? What story are we trying to tell? That is what has become my most like fire under the booty to create content and like to create art. Um,
Mhm.
Very rarely am I able to just like make art for art's sake right now, which is totally also an amazing way of making art. But even just like making a combo, I'm like, okay, but who am I? Like, what am I going through? What am I trying to say? That means so much to me, and it like really lights a fire under me.
Yeah, I love that. I think that that's so clear in everything I've seen that you create. So I love that. That's the first time anyone has answered that question that way. So you get
Cool.
another gold star platinum trophy.
Thank you.
Amazing. Well, where can people find you if they want to get in touch, if they want to follow you? Plug
Yeah.
everything away.
Yeah, well, it's at Nick Silverio on Instagram and TikTok, with two O's because somebody has the other one. So it's Nick
So rude.
Silverio, which I love. Silverio. And then
Yeah.
also, I mean, it just mean the world to me if you're an artist, or even if you're not, just to check out Art's work. You can follow us at Art's Work Official, but artswork.com is live and has been since July 28th. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback and see your profile. Like Haley said, it's a permanent living breathing thing, so it is definitely a little bit daunting to have to make your profile in that first go, but the cool thing is like it's yours. Once you make it, it's there forever. You update it however much you want, you add whatever you want, you curate it and customize it to represent who you are and what you do best, and then you can use art's work however is most valuable for you. And if there's a way that it can be more valuable, let us know because we're literally building it day by day to make it as formidable for artists as possible. So I'm really excited about it and would love to see you on there.
Amazing. And if you would like to support this show, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel here, Essentially Haley. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the
Yes,
year. So we've got a long way to go, but we're working
you
on
got
it.
it.
And definitely check out the Instagram for this show. I'm going to announce this here, doing a little rebrand with Maya, who was a guest
We
in the
love.
past. She has done an amazing job, and I'm so excited. We're going to be renaming the show, getting everything all color
Cool.
coordinated. That's going to happen in September, so there'll be more information about the switcheroo with that. But for now, you can follow us at Dancers Doing Stuff on Instagram. And if you want to check out my personal page, you can follow me at Haley Grove. And the last thing that I'll plug is the Patreon for this show. It is a great space. We have two patrons right now, so shout out to them. But the
Yes.
Patreon, I'm really excited about because I do want to be able to start the Dancer's Dream Grant program. Once we hit 100 patrons, I'm going to be donating $1 per patron every month to a dancer who has a creative project that needs help getting funded. So whether that's hiring a videographer or even just renting studio space, or hopefully paying dancers for projects that they really should be paid for, and having a budget. So there's so many ways that we can all work together to support the dance community, and so definitely check that out. Thank you so much for being here. This has been like one of my favorite interviews. Thank you so much for making the time. I know you have a crazy schedule, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. I think is the next show, hopefully. All
Okay.
right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.